All right, guys. My name's Alberto, aka Destroyer 48, aka Subscribe for Food. Haha. I just finished watching the Barbie movie. Finally, um, the Barbie movie starring Robbie. For I forget her name, I shouldn't forget her name because I loved her in the Suicide Squad, and I just found out that she plays Barbie. I just watched it like I watched the Barbie movie like an hour ago, and I'm gonna tell you guys about it. I'm not going to do final spoiler alerts. I'm not gonna do spoiler alerts endings. I'm not gonna spoil some parts that mainly the ending, and there's some parts I'm not gonna spoil. I will go over the movie scenes, go over the plot. Try not to talk about too much stuff. It's a lot to take in, folks. The movie is like an hour, close to 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes. Um, so I'm letting you know what I'm gonna tell you about. I'm not gonna try to spoil main parts, and I'm not definitely not spoiling the ending. I will tell you what I think of the ending. I'm not gonna tell you about it, what happens, but I'm gonna tell you what I thought of it. I mean, like whether I thought the ending was good or not. That's all I'm gonna really say. All right, let's jump into it. This is Barbie movie, the recent Barbie movie, live movie, Barbie movie, starring Robbie Margot. I'm not used to say her name. It's not her name doesn't sound big, but she's cool. She plays Harley Quinn. She plays Barbie. Well, let's just jump into the movie, shall we? You're gonna have the beginning. You're gonna have that they're in Barbie Land. You're gonna have your typical Barbie Land stuff. You're gonna have Barbies and Ken dolls everywhere. All different types of Barbies, all different kind of Ken dolls. Now the movie is surrounded by. It's like I forgot what her name was. It was like typical Barbie, everyday kind of Barbie. She was the average Barbie, and she's played by Robbie Margot. She's the main Barbie in the film, and all the Barbies are different. You have African American Barbies, you got Hispanic Barbies, you got Ken, same thing. You got white Barbies, you got African American Barbies, Chinese Barbies, Chinese Ken. You got almost everything, man. Uh, I will say that there is a Ken that's white, and there's white Ken, and there's Oriental Ken, and they're like the main ones fighting for at times fighting for power. But Barbie, of course, it's gonna start. We saw this coming. Probably, I did not know that much coming into this movie. I had heard someone said it was a hit, but I don't even remember about that. But my sister reinforced. I want to go see it with my sister. She reinforced it. Anyways, we know that this is gonna way Barbie's gonna start. She's gonna start her day every day doing stuff, getting into her heels or showering and not starting her day, and that's how it starts. Uh, they're gonna go over her first day from, like I said, starting from the morning shower and all that to in the middle of the day to the end of the day, which is they at the end of the day it's starting to be night, and they're gonna do dancing, and the Kens are there dancing with that Barbie's house. There's a whole dance there, and then she says slumber party, and Ken is not invited. So that hurts Ken's feelings a bit. Next day they're gonna start doing the same thing, whatever. Um, in one dance sequence, the thing is during the first one or the second one. I don't know which one, but it's the first or second time they start dancing at Barbie's house, something like that. And Barbie mentions death. That is the first time that, when she mentions that, everybody freezes. And then she says, no, then she changes it. She meant really death, like talking about dying. But she tried to cover And she says, "No, I'm dying to have another party tomorrow," something like that. So everybody, okay, they start dancing again. Then she notices, like the next day or something, that her feet, they're usually, you know how Barbies, their feet are up to go into high heel shoes. Well, now they're turned completely flat, and she's changing. She's gonna go look for a guide, and there's this other Barbie that's twisted or con- or something's wrong with this other Barbie. She's her body's messed up or whatever, and she's gone into isolation by herself. And other Barbies tell ordinary Barbie, "Hey, go over there and tell the main Barbie, star of the film, go over there and see if she can help you out." And she does visit this twisted Barbie or configured Barbie. I forgot what she was called. And the star Barbie goes to ordinary Barbie. I'm gonna just call her ordinary Barbie. She's a star of the film, the main one, played by the girl that plays Harley Quinn, Robbie Magat. So as ordinary Barbie goes over there and talks to the twisted Barbie, and she lives on a hill in a twisted house or whatever. Twisted Barbie. I guess I'll call her that. And ordinary Barbie would say, "Hey, you went through something like this, and you went through isolation, and you're twisted and everything. You're not the same anymore. Just probably what I'm going through right now. What could be happening to me?" And then she's like, "Well, you're there's you have an owner that owns you, and you got to go to real world, where real like ordinary people. You need to go back over there and go find your owner and see what they're doing to you. Which this is causing this to happen." So Barbie has to go to real world, and the first way she's gonna do this is she needs to get out of Barbie world, and she's gonna get on the road, get out of Barbie world, and then go out into the country, and then see if she can find a way to get into to real world, which is like us now, ordinary people, not Barbie land. Okay, so establish that. She gets in her car, she takes off, and she's going to the desert, leaving Barbie land, and then she finds out that Ken, the white Ken doll, has hitchhiked. I mean, has sneaked in her back up the back seat, and he's hiding there. And she's like, "What are you doing here? I want to do this. You're just gonna slow me down." And he's like, "No, I'm not." And so she's like, "Okay." So she takes him, and they will go through the desert, and then they'll go on some way somehow go on a like ski sleds on the water, and then go on a rocket ship and all this stuff, and then I think they get to Venice Beach. I think that's the way to get to real world. They get to Venice Beach, and then they're in real world when they're there. I'm gonna talk about this more about later on, but I do not approve of where the movie's going already in that direction, going to real world. But they get into real world, and they're trying to. They missed a party, kind of missed a party. Uh, well, the disfigured barber, you could call her too, had told her, "Hey, you'll know when you find your owner once you get there." It takes them a while, but they end up getting in trouble. They end up getting the Ken and Barbie. They end up getting arrested sometimes, and it takes them a while to find Barbie's owner and stuff like that. To make a long story short, so I don't spoil more of the movie for you, they end up finding mother and daughter, and and they're like, they the ones that own the Barbie doll or something like that, and Ken ends up ditching him. He ends up going back to Barbie World. He was there for a while and he was doing stuff, but he's got inspiration from the real world. Like, hey, guys can do this and that. I mean, he was discovering stuff on his own. Because one day Barbie said, hey, go discover, go look around, go see what's going on, just to get away from him for a while. But she even told him one time, don't go too far. I don't know if she thought if she was scared being without him or something. But he's like, oh, all the men are doing manly things, and I could take this back to Barbie World. And he goes to Barbie World and he starts owning it. He starts taking over and getting all the Ken dolls too. But he wants to be the boss, of course. Everybody gets greedy, and he wants to own Barbie World because Barbie World was it was dominated by especially the ordinary Barbie, which he's over here trying to find the owners, trying to get herself fixed, and there was Judge Barbies and all that in Barbie World. Women, of course, because Barbies for women. Barbies were ruling Barbie World. But slowly but surely, Ken is taking over Barbie World and taking over even ordinary Barbie's house. Um, but at one point, Barbie gets kidnapped. Back in the real world, ordinary Barbie gets kidnapped by Mattel. They're men's suits, and Will Ferrell plays the main boss of Mattel. And they even take her back to Mattel headquarters, the big building there in Los Angeles. I guess it's Los Angeles. And and they wanna put her in a box. They don't want her starting trouble. And I didn't want to forget the name, and I remember the name Skipper. There was a case named Skipper from Barbie that caused trouble too. Same thing happened to him, where he was losing identity. He was turning somewhat human, and they took care of him. They put him in a box. I think that's how they solved the problem, because they want to do this to Barbie now. They want to put her in a box and not have any problems with her. And they see her as a threat or some problematic, so they want to put her in a box. But she escapes, and when they apprehend her, they did almost put her in the box. She's like, let me go to the restroom, something like that. She runs in Mattel building, and the suits are after Wolf. The boss of Mattel, played by Will Ferrell again, and he has a whole bunch of suits with him, all men, and they're gonna go chase after Barbie. Barbie ends up escaping them, and she ends up taking the mother and daughter that were the owners of her, and they take her back. She takes them back to Barbie World, and I think she's like, "You sure you want to come?" They're like, "Yeah." So she takes them in the car. They go start from Venice, and then they go back to Barbie World, going the same way with astronauts or whiskey, just like they had said you're gonna come back the same way you came in. To the astronauts, and then skiing through the water, starting off in Venice, and then going back on the country road, and then going to Barbie World, and then they get there. Barbie and the mother and daughter, you see, they're forgettable. I don't even remember their names. I don't even remember hearing their names once. I probably wasn't paying attention. And they're there, and Barbie hits her rock bottom point where she sees that that Ken and the other Ken dolls have taken over, especially the white Ken, and then they have taken over Barbie World, and they took away all the like they had other Barbies that were judges and high power judges. They're waitresses, and or they're maids for the other Ken dolls. White Ken doll is taking over the big house. Oriental Ken doll, the other main boss, he's getting girls and chicks. He has some power too. Then Barbie gives up. She hits the floor at one point. She's like, I've given up. I don't think I could take over Ken anymore. And I forgot to mention. Let me start from the beginning. Now I'm gonna come back. She was always being mean to the Ken doll. I went over it. Barbie was being mean to the Ken doll. She was like, wouldn't want him to sleep over. I mean, not in a bad way, but and he would try to kiss her, never let her kiss her. So now we're and you know she teased him. That's the first thing I say. Okay, I'm like she teased him somewhat. Okay, fine, that's fine. Well, now we're back here, back where I was talking about. The Ken dolls that took it over, especially White Ken, he's took over Barbie's ordinary house. And ordinary Barbie, when she gets back, like I said, she gives up and she starts laying down on the floor, and then she gets even worse because she rolls over and she lays down flat on her face on the ground. Like you, two humans that come in, the mother and daughter, the owners, they try to tell Barbie like, "Hey, come on, you can't quit and they give up on her real quick, and then they want to go home. The daughter tells the mom more, "Hey, let's get out of here." So they do take off. I think they are taking off, but I think they come back. No, they start taking off. They're gonna go back home to real world, but there is not a Ken doll. I forgot the name of it. It was some other doll that was male. I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember. He plays a small role anyways, but he's trying to get out and he's trying to go back to real world to get some kind of power. I don't know what. And they're like, "You can't come with us" or something like that, and he ends up fighting when they get to the country road in the car to get out. He gets out. Hopefully, I'll remember his name, but I don't remember his name right now. It's not Skipper. It's somebody else. Alan. I think it's like Alan or something like that. It's not a Skipper. It's not a Kendall. It's an Alan something. Maybe Alan. I don't know. But when they get there, there's construction workers or somebody's trying to build a wall so nobody can get in and out. I think it Ken doesn't want. It's trying to make a wall so nobody can get in and out of Barbie world. They can't leave the real world to real world. Alan, just call him Alan. He fights with the construction workers there, and then Barbie. No, I'm sorry. The mother and daughter owners of Barbie, they go back to Barbie world. They try to revive Barbie or help her out. They do. They have already said. I think other Barbie dolls have already sent Barbie back to disfigured Barbie. They're trying to bring up there, and then the mother and daughter human owners, they get there, and they revive Barbie somehow. Barbie comes back, and this is where it gets confusing. I'm telling you some of these lines because I understood, but to this point it gets kind of confusing. But they try to get there's a way where they're trying to get all the Barbies to deal with a Ken doll, some kind of strategic plan to sucker them in, where they're gonna be able to get the Ken dolls to give the Barbie girls back their power. And it did something like they're trapping the Ken dolls. The Ken dolls start talking to all the Barbies and try to, they the Barbies are trying to try to lure them in to make them fall in love with something and then trap them at the end somehow. I guess I kind of understood that part, but they had like campfire scenes where, like, let's say ordinary Barbie and the main one, the main white Ken Barbie, he starts serenading her, like singing to her and stuff like that. And they're saying that Ken dolls, if you do something to them, they can't resist serenading you. If you talk nice to them, be nice to them, something like that. So that happens, and then they get all the Barbie dolls. They're doing that. They start rejecting the Ken dolls, and the Ken dolls start getting mad, and even the Oriental, and so all the Ken dolls are all mad now, and now they get together and they say, hey, what are we gonna do about this? The Barbies are taking back power, and then the white Ken doll says, no, what we're gonna do is, even one of the Ken dolls says, one of the other Ken dolls says, ask the white Ken doll, should we go fight try to take back our power, or the power away from the Barbies? And he's like, no, we're gonna fight with other Ken dolls. So there's like a Ken doll civil war, I guess. It's gonna be the white Ken doll army, not to be racist, but it's the way I explain it, versus the Oriental Ken doll and his Ken dolls. And the Ken dolls are all mixtures too. They're African American, Asian. But I'm just saying those are the two main leaders: the Oriental Ken doll and the white Ken doll. And they go over Civil War. Barbie and the other Barbies are just there laughing and being like, "How we're gonna get our power back." There's a Civil War, and then um, the president of Mattel, the one that Will Ferrell plays, he comes with his suits, or he has like 10 of them, and they have traveled back from real world Mattel to Barbie world. They're there. It makes things more confusing. They're trying to capture Barbie and put her back in the box, I guess. I mean, the Mattel presidents with his suits, and they're even running through the Ken Civil War. Um, like I said, the Barbies are laughing, including disfigured Barbie and ordinary Barbie, the main one. Oh, and by the way, the Ken dolls had a day in Barbie World where they were supposed to have a meeting or a conference to change the rules all in Barbie World, to change it all to, that'd be the nail in the coffin, to put all the rules. That meeting would be like, it's like a Congress meeting or something. I don't remember what they call it, but it's to give the dolls all power in Barbie Land. So that'd be the nail in the coffin for the Barbies for a very long time, forever maybe. But the Barbies have went over there to the meeting Congress to, hey, keep the laws where they're at. We're gonna get everything back together, and all the Barbies start getting the power. The judicial Barbie, the judge Barbies get their power. Everybody's getting their power back. The Ken dolls, the white Ken doll and the Oriental doll, they're talking like Ken doll are like, weren't we supposed to have that meeting today to take all the power back? Yeah, like, yeah, we forgot because of the Civil War. so so let's recap. The Barbies have taken the power back, especially ordinary Barbie, and all the Ken dolls. They fought a civil war. Nobody really wins, and they know they lost. They go to the Barbies, but it's too late. They've already missed the meeting to change the rules on that day. They forgot because they're too busy doing this war, right? So now they all get together, and then they have a whole scene about Ken. I did not understand this part. Something about Ken was saying, "I am Ken. I am Ken." Barbie's trying to be nice to him, but Ken keeps trying to kiss her, and I swear, Barbie had to have dissed Ken, rejected Ken like more than 6 times, probably 6 to 8 times. Each time I count was a kiss. Every time he tries to kiss, he moves away. And I'm kind of like gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna ruin the ending. Maybe I ruined some of the ending, but I know there's more to come, and it gets more confusing. The more the movie goes on, the Barbie movie goes on, the more confusing it gets. I have not, I have not, I have not spoiled the ending like I promised. I spoiled like some of it getting there, but believe me, there's a lot more than that. So I have not spilled the ending because that's not the ending. That's more to come. A lot more to come. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna overcap. I mean, I'm not ending the review, but I'm ending it right there. Now I'm gonna give you my over analysis. I make it sound cool. Over analysis, okay. Or you want me to say, okay, my opinion. Overall opinion of the Barbie movie. These are my thoughts. And when I was coming back from the car with my sister, we went over some of it. We talked more about the ending. I ain't gonna talk about that. Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil the ending. What do I think about the Barbie movie, man? I have a lot. I kind of have a lot to say, but I'm just gonna go in order. I'm just gonna say what I feel because I don't want to try to organize stuff because I'm gonna get lost. I was out for the Barbie movie just to keep it there at Barbie World. That's what I was looking for. I did not know anything about the movie. Not really anything. Very little. But I was thinking, what do I think about this? They should have kept it in Barbie World. They should not put this thing real world. The reason is because as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know, there's a Barbie movie about there's a first act live Barbie movie besides animation that I know of. You never this has not been done before, as far as I know. I'm sorry I keep saying it, but it just keeps in my mind. So do it basic. Keep it in Barbie world. Have it a Barbie adventure. Do not involve it with real people from real world. Don't do that. That's just my opinion. Now, if this was a 10th live movie, then I'm like, sure, go ahead and do it. I mean, you already done everything else. Go and do it. No, but this is the first time. Start with the basics. So, if you want to do real world stuff, have it come out in Barbie 2 where you make more money. You make the fans happy. You make yourself happy. The director's happy. Everybody's happy. At the end of the day, if you can make it as close as possible where everybody's happy, the battles have won. I mean, the battle's almost won, already won. When you start disappointing people, you're not going to make as much money. Now, my sister told me this is like the number one movie. That's kind of hard to believe. There was times in the movie where I was like, okay, they're going to real world. It's a little bit entertaining, exactly a little bit, but you're going the wrong direction. But then they brought everybody to come back to Barbie World. I'm like, okay, now you have a chance. Now you have to come in the right direction. No, and it goes in another bad direction. For one, let me say this before I forget. Barbie makes ordinary Barbie makes ordinary Ken doll. I mean, Barbie looks like a tease. She keeps rejecting him. Okay, is that part of woman power? I guess so. But you gotta remember, you're gonna have fathers taking their kids to these movies and all that. It may turn a man off real bad. I mean, it turned me off. And it's like a dad would be like, I don't want to see that movie again. And that does not help a man bring his child back to the movies when you're putting down Ken and representing the men. It does not help. You're not going for my theory of try to make everybody happy. Or at least the majority of the people happy. You're not. Yeah, there's even gay men. Maybe they're offended by that too. I don't know. But dads that are fathers are going to get turned off. You know, we have to back up the men, and you could have made an ending where you made everybody happy. You know, have Barbie happy, have Ken happy, you're not gonna score points in making, putting down men. Fine, have women power, and all that, but don't be kicking a man while he's down. She doesn't just reject him like 2 times. I saw like kind of like 6 or 8 times. Another thing is, it's Barbie. The movie's gonna be silly. It cannot help to be silly. It's gonna be silly. But my thing is, don't overstep your boundaries and make it way, way too silly. I think they made it too silly. Like, make it silly, but not too silly. Not over. Don't overdo it. They overdid it. They just made it over silly. And then they made it confusing. Okay, before I forget another thing, there were of course a lot of women in there. They're gonna identify more with Barbie more than their kids, because Barbie goes back to the 50s and 60s, right? In my audience, and it kind of doesn't matter when I'll tell you right now. The women were clapping every now and then, laughing. Okay, you're doing a job for them. But I've seen different audiences that don't act the same all the time. I don't want to go too off this, but one time I don't remember what movie it was. I went with one audience to see the movie, and they were clapping, cheering. Some okay, good. But then I went to the same movie with a different audience. They were not even clapping or nothing. So it doesn't kind of matter. But we can go back to what my sister says that it's number one, I guess. But this is not. It looks like a kids movie, of course, especially the beginning. Barbie doing the same old thing. They're still selling Barbies. They know about it, but it's confusing to a child. What is a child might want to get up and leave and be like, "Mom and Dad, what's going on? I want to get out of here. I don't understand what's going on." It depends the age of the child, maybe, right? But it got real confusing. I even got confused, and I kind of didn't understand at the end. Okay, I could be called dumb, ignorant, whatever. Um, bad mouth maybe you want, but I mean, my point of view is if I can't even get it at the end, what makes a child gonna get it? And I'm sick. I have an excuse. I'm sick, and I have headaches a lot of the time. I'm sick with diabetes and a lot of other stuff, mainly diabetes and other things that are created by diabetes. Illness is created by diabetes. Yeah, because they start yapping a lot. Not to be sexist or anything bad about women, but they start talking a lot. The Barbies, and they may start making it very, like my sister said, they made it very political. It just became more like woman power more than Barbie itself. My opinion, if you can all understand that. And it stings because part of the movie, like I said, let me retrace it back. It started off in Barbie World. That's good. They went to the real world. No, not good. Not in my opinion. It's okay, but it could be. If you keep it in Barbie, it will be a lot better. And then they come back. They all start coming to Barbie World. Barbie World, good. That's good. Come back. But then they start making it political and really confusing, especially for a child. This is gonna become for just actually a movie for moms that were or older people born in the 50s and I mean that were around 50 childhood in 50 and 60s and 70s. It's gonna become their movie at the end, and that's a good target, But I don't know. I know there's gonna be women that do not, a lot of women that do not like this. It became way too silly. Keep the movie silly, silly, or no, it's too silly. Silly, either silly or silly, silly, but not silly, 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 and beyond silly. That's what it became. I think they could have made a better job. I'm not good at making stories. I had to really think about it. But I would have made. You know what movie I would have made? I would have made a Barbie movie where you have like an invading force invading Barbie land, like action force or some military or because a Barbie show they could throw down. The Kens knew martial arts. Barbie knew martial arts, so they knew how to defend themselves. Maybe they could be ninjas. I'm just kidding. No, they can be in their Barbie clothes and just defend themselves. Have somebody taking over Barbie World, takes over Barbie World, and then have them go into a mountain or something in Barbie World, and then come out doing guerrilla tactics in their Barbie clothes and find a way how to take down the evil empire of Action Force or some military or some kind of bad guys. Or even like Gem and the Holograms, that's like Barbies but something else. Have dolls like that taking over and stuff like that, and having Barbie take back her Barbie world. I would have gone that route because you can always do Barbie world and the real world like it did right now. Do it in the second movie, but now it's kind of hard to go back to my idea where it's just a war about Barbie world. It's kind of hard to go back to that, and it might even be impossible. The thing I was looking for in this movie was go swing for a home run, swing for the fences, swing for a home run. Do a movie once again, Barbie World and Barbie World. Have somebody else try to take over Barbie World. Just keep it there, and then come with a good ending for Ken and Barbie. Um, a good ending for them at the end of the movie, where everybody's happy. You can do that because it is the first live Barbie movie. You can get away with that because it's the first time. Now, if it was a 10th live Barbie movie made and you're going with an original happy ending, that's not going to work because you probably did that in Barbie movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it'll work because it's the first time. They should have went for the classic. Have a have a have a good Ken and Barbie ending. They had a baby. You have to get married and have a baby, and everybody's happy. You'll capture the more hearts of men and women and children everywhere. But this one, no. This one is just, it's a movie. Okay, this is from a guy's point of view, of course. They had made the movie where Barbie's gonna step all over Ken, and Barbie's gonna be victorious, which she should be, but not to. But you can have Ken be a little happy or something. Not Barbie just kicking him while he's down all the time. There have to be women out there that were sad for Ken, but at the same time they got what they wanted. Women just stepping on men, and women, total girl power, and guys are nothing. A woman's not gonna see it like that. They're gonna see it like, oh, Ken got what he deserved, because that's what today's society is mostly. Men are in dominating positions. There's been so many men presidents. I don't have to go through it. How many women so far? None. We're close to getting one, I would think. Hillary Clinton almost won. Oh, you're not going to go anywhere. Kamala Harris. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Get a woman president, but get somebody else. Don't get that chick. I don't need that laughing hyena that doesn't take anything seriously. This movie didn't it didn't hit it out of the park. It made a lot of money, came first. I think it could have even done even way better than that. It's definitely not gonna be movie of the year. They could have done a lot better. I'm disappointed. I'm not that disappointed. I was gonna say that this, like I was saying, this movie is an hour and 50 minutes. It kind of started dragging on, but actually, I felt I got out of there faster. Like the movie ended faster than I thought it was gonna be. So I did. I think with the girl that plays ordinary Barbie, Margot Robbie. I think what helped me is that she's an attractive girl. I have to be asking how old is she, because I know she went all the way back to Tarzan, and then she went to Harley Quinn. I'm gonna say 35. She does not even look that old. She doesn't. I want to look for her being old, and the makeup will cover up the oldest of a woman. And it makes them more attractive. Makes them look younger. But she looks 35. But I'm sorry to say, I think she has to be at least 40, right? Because Tarzan came out a while back. When did Tarzan come out? When she came out in Tarzan? I have to do the math. Once I go check it out, go over Wikipedia, go check it out, I will find out how old is she, and I hope she's in her 30s. She has to be 35. If she's 40, I wouldn't be that surprised because some women, some of them look younger for their age. You know, she might. But she did Tarzan what 10 years ago. I hope so, because then that would be in my age bracket what I think she is. She looked great. I freaked out. I think I barely found out today she was playing Barbie. Yeah, she looks good. She looks great. She looked good as Harley Quinn. She looked good in the girl Tarzan. And I'm biased with Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is probably my favorite character, female character all time. And that's because Harley Quinn doesn't have any super. She does not have superhero powers. She has gymnastic strength, which is really strong for a girl, but she doesn't have like superhero strength like Superman or Supergirl. I'm trying to finish up and see what I have to say about Barbie. But I think that's about it. I was disappointed, but it could have been worse. They just should have just took the Barbie world. Don't go to real world at all. It would have been a better movie. They should have went for the fences and try to come up with a happy ending for Ken, Barbie, and even a baby Barbie or whatever. So you satisfy the women audience, the men audience, and the children audience. You should not make it so confusing. Not make it so much about woman. Yes, make it about woman power, but not so much. And don't make it so much about women power. Don't make it so confusing. You can have woman power in there, but just hey, tad bit, not tad bit, like middle. No, they went for the fences. They wanted to make it political, all about women, and all about Barbie stomping on Ken. All right, I'm kind of like repeating myself and stuff like that, but I put in as much as I could what I want to remember, what I want to say. If I forgot anything, well, I'm sorry about that. And I can say the Civil War cancel was just kind of ridiculous. Some of it was funny, but the one thing I would tell, and I'm not a picky person. If I was picky, I would have burned this movie to the ground. I would have just said bad things about it over and over and over again. That's because I'm not that picky, right? Once again, if I was picky, I would have torn this movie to the ground like other reviewers I know. I'm open minded, and it was just to me the movie was just disappointing. They could have made it better, less confusing. Don't make it so you know, don't make it so long winded. All right, I'm just repeating myself. So that's what I have to say. I was just disappointed about the Barbie movie. They could have done better. They could have swung for the fences and they didn't. And disappointed. All right, man. I'm repeating myself, so I'm gonna end this. Um, I'm gonna say what my line always say. My name is Alberto, aka Destroyer 48. Um, no, I'm gonna say the world will never be a perfect place, but y'all can make it better. Till next time, I'm signing off, and I love you guys, and I will see you in my next review. Bye.